All right, hey everybody, I'm Josh McFall, the CEO here at Huntsville Area Association of Realtors. Welcome back to another edition of HAAR Talks Live. I'm today with our Vice President, Chris Hulser, who's a candidate for President-elect. Glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Josh. I'm happy to be here.
So this is a whole week of live shows because we're bringing back HAAR Talks in a big way. We said last week that we were on a COVID break for a little while.
It's sweeps week.
Right. It is
It's
sweep.
sweeps
Look, that's what somebody else said, that this should be like, we're trying to get the ratings up, so we're going to just do a live show every week. I feel like that's what the networks would do. So this is my Hoda Kotb moment, I guess, from the Today Show, if I channel that. So I'm here with Chris. As a reminder, our officer elections start this coming weekend, this Friday till Monday. I'll give you some more details about that. But Chris is a candidate for President-elect. Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to folks who maybe don't know you.
So, I'm Chris Hulser. I'm currently the 2021 Vice President. Excuse me, losing my voice. Also the owner of Exit Realty North in Madison and Huntsville. Been in real estate since 2008. Moved to Huntsville in 2004 when I met my amazing partner Tip, who's also getting into real estate now. Been very active in our board, top producing agent with Exit Realty.
Yeah, you served as Women's Council president, I know, in the past. As first male
From what I was
from HAAR, right?
That's what I was told.
It's pretty cool feat. Because anytime I'm a member of Women's Council as well, and there are men as a member of Women's Council, and so that's always a question that comes up. So it's cool.
Monica Sanford is actually the person who voluntold me to get active in the board, and I was invited to a board of directors meeting. And I was sitting there, and I'm listening at the Women's Council,
yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I nominate Chris Hulser to be treasurer, and I hear a second and a vote, and I didn't even have a chance to go, hold on.
Yeah.
But honestly,
so you got voluntold. I love that.
But
that segues into my next question as to how you got involved. So is that the story then? So
I
got voluntold. Women's Council. So.
But it was one of the best things that ever happened by being voluntold, because it made me realize how important it is to be involved in the board at any level, whether it's in leadership, on a volunteer position, on a committee. Just being involved really makes a difference.
Yeah. Have you voluntold anyone since you were voluntold?
Actually, yes. Kanan Donovan, who is my broker for my Huntsville office, he was voluntold to be my secretary for the year that I was.
I was just curious, had you passed along the love of the voluntold?
I have.
Okay.
I have, and honestly, I think between myself and several people, Lori Hislop has been voluntold to be the vice president for next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lori will join us on tomorrow's HAAR Talk, so you'll get to know her. All right, so let's shift to a more serious note here. So we're going through an amazing time in real estate in Huntsville and across the nation. But in your opinion, tell me what you think is the biggest issue that's facing real estate right now.
Honestly, it's affordability. We're seeing homes that are being listed, and they're going, honestly, I've seen some that have gone for over $50,000 over list, waiving appraisals, waiving contingency, and it's knocking some of our new home buyers out of the market that don't have the cash to go way above list price and way above what the house may appraise. So we're seeing a lot of buyers go into the rental market. And honestly, the rental market is getting as bad as the selling, because rents are going up and up and up. Yeah. So affordability is our problem.
We want a place for people to live, but we want the dream of home ownership to be realized by as many people. We had our housing summit yesterday. If you haven't checked out the story on HAAR.Realtor, we have a full recap of the event. So it was a great conversation to really start tackling some of these issues. It was community leaders, it was elected officials, realtors, builders, developers. So check that out. You can see the full recap and all the notes at HAAR.Realtor on there. So tell me why you chose to run for president-elect of the board. President-elect, in case you don't know, that position oversees our advocacy and our RPAC, which is super important based on what you were just talking about with that. And then we'll ascend to the presidency. It's the only guaranteed ascension to the presidency in the officer lineup now with that. So you'd be president of HAAR in 2023, right? So why did you choose to run?
So, like I said, I'm currently vice president, and I've been on board of directors for several years, and I wanted to continue my service to our members and to our community. So the next logical step was to go for the president-elect position. It's a very important position because it is about advocacy and and RPAC. I've been on the RPAC committee as well, so I know where our dollars go to. RPAC helps protect us as realtors. It's stopped taxes that could be levied on us on our commissions. It's helped with flood insurance, making sure that's still in place and things like that. So it's a position that holds a lot of power to help our community. It's an important position.
Yeah, our 3 core principles are education, advocacy, and connections, and you've overseen our education division this year and done a great job with that. So thank you for volunteering to continue on in that role. Kind of not scripted here, so throw this away. I'm asking this question. So let's say in a year from now, you're sitting in this seat back on HAAR Talks, and you are the president-elect about to become president of HAAR. What do you hope you've accomplished in the next year?
My hope is that to continue on the strat plan that we have been working on. We've had those 5 principles that you've been a very big part of and helped getting in there. I'm hoping that by the time I step into the role as president, that we'll have achieved all the goals and be able to continue that legacy that we've started. We have a very diverse community here in Huntsville. I feel like we have a very diverse board. And I'd like to see more of our members get involved. So part of my goal for 2022 is to increase our members, volunteerism within our board. Because whether it's being on a committee or chairing a work group or just attending an event, your presence means a lot to the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, giving an hour or so to show up to an event or to be a part of a discussion about an issue like housing affordability yesterday, for everybody who showed up to that, it was amazing to hear the feedback because we got that directly back too. And this is another great plug for our engagement profile. You can go to HAAR.realtor/engage and get signed up to be involved, just like Chris has done. Super easy way. You don't have to do a committee sign up. Folks like Chris who are in leadership roles and our board of directors will call you and ask you to serve. And I don't know the last time that someone says no to that, right? It's hard to say no when your friend calls you and says, hey, help me out with something.
Or sometimes I've been cornered in a room by an individual and said, you need to do this. And you can't say no when you're cornered.
Right.
It's just like with Serve Day, I'm serving tomorrow, which I'm excited about. And it's going to be a fun day to give back to the community.
Yeah, Realtors in Action Serve Day is continuing on. This is day 2 of it today. Had a great showing of folks. Actually, we just got a report a few minutes ago that more people showed up to sites than what they had work to do, and they still found them work. So thank you to everybody who's out there volunteering for Serve Day. There's a last day tomorrow morning. I think there's 3 spots. So you can go on our website, HAAR.realtor, and see those sign-ups. And Chris will be there. Where will you be?
I'll be at Village of Promise.
Village of Promise. So
I'll be the one with the weed eater.
Cool. So come see Chris and volunteer over there. So just a reminder, our election starts this coming Friday, October the 1st at 9 a.m. You'll receive your voting credentials, and then that election is open until Monday, October 4th at 5 p.m. And the winner's announced on Tuesday for that. So I'm not going to let you off the hook that easy because I've got a fast 4 questions that I'm asking everybody this week with that. Okay. So rapid fire first response on these. Okay, here we go. Favorite food?
My newest is Valentina's Pizza.
Oh my gosh, mine too. I love that place. Besides Huntsville, favorite vacation spot?
Key West.
Oh, nice. Favorite movie or TV show?
Burlesque with Cher and Christina Aguilera.
Okay, nice. That's a fun answer. And if you could have dinner with anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
Anyone living or dead? That one I just drew a blank on.
You would eat pizza with them, but
who would you
eat the pizza with?
Honestly, I think it would be President Reagan.
Okay. Why Reagan?
I grew up during the time when he was in president. He did a lot of great things, and he was just somebody that I was very intrigued when I would watch him interview on TV.
Interesting. Okay. That's a great answer, Chris. Thanks for that. And thanks for joining me on HAAR Talks today. We'll be joined tomorrow by our candidate for Vice President, Lori Hislop, who will also be on the ballot this weekend. So you can join us for that tomorrow afternoon on HAAR Talks. Chris, thanks for being here. Appreciate all you do. Yep.